LonsdorKarKeys.com. We're currently working on a 2022 Toyota Tundra. We're adding a second key, and we're using the Lonsdor K518 Pro and a Lonsdor LT20 series key. Alright, so to do this, you're going to need the FP30 cable, which the programmer will tell you which cable you need to use. And then also you need to pop off the side panel here, pop down this panel, and then you'll see the smart box. It's the one in the middle, and the plug that you want is the very top plug there. So you can go ahead and always make sure the ignition's off when you're plugging and unplugging this. So go ahead there, get this cable set up, and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so we got our 30-pin cable hooked up, and as you can see, I'm just plugged into the box, and then the other end of the OEM wiring harness plugs back into my adapter harness so that we complete the circuit, and our DLC cable is going to just plug right in the other end, and we can go ahead and start doing our key programming. Alright, so make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi. We got full Wi-Fi signal. Alright, it says turn the ignition on. Alright, let me go ahead. So we have one working key, so I can go ahead and turn the ignition on. Had we not had a working key, we would have just had to turn on the hazards and turn them off, and that will wake up the body control module and the immobilizer module and let us read the information. So basically what we're doing now is we're backing up the emo data. I might have skipped that part in the video, but basically I just selected 21 and up Tundra, and we went into back up the emo data, and then now it read the file. It's going to ask me to 22 black Tundra. So it's going to ask me to save the file, and basically what this file does is this eliminates us having to use a third party for the 3 rolling codes that are need to program the vehicle. This will back up the data and pull the codes that we need for the data automatically. Alright, so it tells us our data has been backed up successfully. We'll go ahead and hit OK. And then, so basically now, since we have a working key, I can just go ahead and select add a key, and it'll be the same process. It'll have us put our program key up to the button. It'll give us a beep, and then we put our new key up to the button, and it'll also give us a beep to let us know that the key has been programmed. Had we not had a working key, what we would have did was generate emergency key with the Pro antenna, and this is the antenna that's plugged in. And basically what it would have did was took one of the already stored keys that are in that immobilizer system and generate this as an analog key, and then you would just press the button as if this was the key that we already have. But since we already have the key, we don't need that. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to select add a key. Alright, so make sure we're well connected to the network, and I believe it's also going to make us shut the ignition off. Alright, we got power. Please switch the ignition on. Okay, ignition's on. Alright, so right here it's asking if we have either the D-flash backup, or we're going to use a third party to get the 12-pin code, but we have the backup, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So, and I'm going to select, that's the file we just saved. Alright, so it still goes online. It does calculations from the data it gets from the emo box, and it gives us our rolling codes that we need. So right now it's currently 2 keys programmed to the vehicle, and we can have up to 5. I believe it's up to 7, but there's already 2 in there. Alright, so we're going to hold the registered key, and then we got our beep there, and then we're going to take our new key, and then we got our 2 beeps there. Alright, so now we got 3 registered keys. It went from 2 to 3. That tells us our new key has been programmed in successfully. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Tells me to turn the ignition off and check if the key works properly. So I'm just gonna come over here. Alright. And I don't think I'm getting any reaction here. But let me move these keys out the way. I'm gonna hook this box back up the proper way, and then we'll give it a full test. Alright, so you know, this is one of those things I always tell people, just make sure you have your frequency set exactly the same. Make sure your new key has a battery in it, because sometimes, you know, when you go to test it out, you have little issues, and, you know, just pre-checking everything will make sure you don't run into anything. But this is, here we are. We have our lock, unlock. I already did the rear trunk, so it's already open, but that does work. And the other key is out over there, so I can go ahead, put my foot on the brake, touch the button, and start the vehicle up. So just go ahead and shut the car off and just read the rest of it, because a lot of times it has you do one last step that closes out the programming mode. So just click OK. Switch ignition on. Alright, and then don't mind that voltage reading, because that's wrong. As you've seen, the vehicle is just fully running, so. Yep, and then we just wait. So now it's doing some calculation still. But our key has been successfully programmed, and then it just says hold a program smart key close to the start button until you hit a beep. There we go, we got our beep, and we closed out programming mode. Now on a lot of new Toyotas, when you program a key, there'll be a warning up on the dashboard that says a new key has been programmed to the vehicle. Call your local dealer. You do not have to call the dealer. There's no need to call the dealer. There's nothing the dealer can do. There's nothing wrong with the car. That's just a safety procedure to let you know someone programmed the key to the vehicle, so that, you know, someone can't sneak back and try to steal your car with a programmed key later. It will stay on there for about 21 days and then go off automatically. There's nothing you can do to shut it off. You just have to wait it out. There's no need to call the dealer. There's nothing wrong with the car. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this emergency blade cut, and then this one should be good to go. Like I said, putting this back together is real easy. Basically, I'm just going to unhook my adapter harness. Alright, unhook the other end of the adapter harness so I could plug the factory wire back in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this one-handed. Alright, so I'm in the middle of decoding the original emergency blade, and then we will go ahead and cut this one. So how I do these on all the newer Toyotas that got the small single-sided blade, I always go into vehicle database and just look up Toyota Camry, and then it will say single-sided emergency blade, and then if you select that one, you don't have to worry about the height of the key. You know, it's not thinking it's a regular Toy 40, 48, where it's a double-sided key. It's a little bit thicker, and what will happen is the probe won't read because, you know, the height difference. So if you select that Toyota Camry single-sided key, it will decode these and give you a good code, and then you'll be able to cut the new blade. Alright, so here is the blade, our new blade that's cut. We just go ahead and test it. Like I said, these are single-sided blades, so they only work in one direction. That's usually what the key facing the back of the handle, and we could both lock and unlock with the blade, so we know our cut was good and this is a completed job. All right, so I was in the middle of recording the video, and when I first went to go test the key, it didn't work. The frequency was a little bit off, so I tried to explain, just the double check keys before you go to program them. Make sure the battery's good, make sure the frequency is good. But this one, I used the Lonsdor LT20 universal key, and I pre-generated it using the existing key. So that way it takes the board number, it takes the frequencies, everything, and it programs them properly so you can add them into the car. But the frequency was actually wrong. I don't know, maybe I hit the button wrong, or I programmed the frequency wrong somewhere. So the key programmed to the car, I was able to start it with pressing the start button with the key. So basically all I had to do is go back into my Lonsdor, select the right profile. This time I just select the Tundra profile that was already in there, generated the key, and when I did that, the key was already synced to the car, so the buttons automatically worked, and I was able to start up and drive the car. So that's another job completed, using the Lonsdor K518 Pro with the 30-pin cable plugged directly into the smart box, and we use the Lonsdor LT20 universal smart key. Thanks for watching. LakelandCarKeys.com.